Good morning. Well, I decided to make a video because I've done it too. Let's see. Yeah, but eventually I'm gonna stop doing it every day, guys. I'm gonna do it like every 2-3 days. I'm not gonna have you guys do it like that, right? I don't get paid for the shit. But I enjoy your salads always watch guys. I'm king about making videos for you guys, right? I can say that, right? But if you forget about this channel, I'm not gonna have you guys win the game. Here we go. I'm not gonna have you guys win the game. I work Wednesday. I get to more often. I work Wednesday. Did you get your check, Ivan? Yeah, I did. Got like $45. I was supposed to get 90, but the bank, the government took a bit of my money to pay off my debt I owe to Revenue Quebec, obviously. I think I paid everything off. Everything's all paid off now. I paid off everything, right? Yeah. I owed the government like $800 last year because the folks are evil. They filed an incorrect tax. I ended up owing the government $800. Around about $800. Yeah. Revenue Canada, I owe them like 500, I think. Close to 500. And Revenue Quebec, I owed them $300. And I paid it all off. Yeah, it's all paid off now. Yeah. After this, I'm gonna enjoy showing you guys. Get a pack of smokes. Yeah. You didn't touch your savings at Ivan? No, I didn't. I didn't touch my savings. I didn't touch it. I'm serious now, man. I had a New Year's resolution. Ivan, save your money. I didn't touch a dime of my savings yet. Yeah. I only have one smoke left. Yeah. From yesterday, right? Yeah, man, once you've read, man, your book is sick. I know my book is sick. I wrote a masterpiece, man. I wrote a sick book. Yeah. Xanus is a masterpiece. That's why the Gates want to control it, obviously, because they know I wrote a masterpiece. Yeah, that book that I wrote is a masterpiece. Yes, it is. It's a masterpiece, man. It's an amazing book. Yeah, every time you show us scenes, we're just hooked, man. We're hooked. I know. My book is a masterpiece, man. It's a masterpiece, my book. That's why the Gates want to control it. They know I did it, obviously. I wrote a masterpiece. Yeah, that brand's Ivan's, that money's his. It's not ours. He has the keys, and that is how to sell to us. It's his money. That's billions of BJ. The only thing we can do is scare him with that, but Ivan's not going to do them like that yet. I'm not going to let those guys win, man. No way. Yo, Ivan, you willing to die with your wife? No. You fucking kidding me? No, but I have no choice but to make that choice. Otherwise, if I live and I sell, they're going to destroy my life. I'm going to share it with the guards, Dory Justice, and they're going to take all my money back. Yeah. I don't want to be in Hollywood, man. I don't want people touching my story, man. I don't want to be in Hollywood. Yeah, man. I don't want to be a salt in the Hollywood system. No fucking way. And have the Hollywood companies control my Zane's man? No. Zane's man's mine. I don't want anyone touching that, man. Controlling my brand, man. Like that. No way. That's my money. Shameen BJ. Yeah. As a reach, I was wondering how you go, by the way. I made like $20 million. You made $20 million off your book. I'm like, yeah. It's like, holy shit. Yeah. You made $20 million off your book. I mean, I did. She's like, holy shit, that's a lot of money. I know. A lot of money, obviously. You just shocked. Yeah. She doesn't know what's like that $20 million in her bank, BJ. He just doesn't know what's like that kind of money, man. Yeah, man. That's why BJ's shocked. Obviously. Yeah. BJ's shocked with my money. Like, oh, you won the lottery with that money. I know. That's why she cries. She wants a piece of my money, obviously. But I ignore VJ when she cries because she's going to keep fucking the guys after that, right? She's going to keep seeing the guys. I'm not going to have her do it that way. I go. Yeah. Yeah. So it does piss you off with VJ. Yeah, like I work on my book, try and do my very best to provide for me and her. Obviously, to put food on the table. And she's out just cheating on me and fucking all these guys. Then she cries mental anguish to me and destroys my sleep. But she doesn't destroy my sleep because I put the music on and my father mutes her crying because he knows she's crazy, obviously. I'm gonna mute her crying for you and put your music on, you'll be able to sleep. Because your wife is a crazy woman, obviously. She's gonna keep destroying your sleep and fucking guys after that. She's crazy. Yeah, why does VJ keep doing it, man? Like that's fucking psychotic. That's abnormal behavior. Yeah, because Victoria Justice is blind, obviously. She's blinded by her the mass and her sin because she's been doing it for like, I don't know, 20 years. She's been fucking some of these guys for 10 years, 15 years, 10 years, 8 years. Victoria Justice is used to fucking guys on her. She's been doing it since she was a kid. That's why she's so used to it. There's no mess in her life. That's why she takes you for granted. But VJ knows the karma's coming her way. She's not stupid. She knows the karma's coming her way, obviously. Yeah. Will that wake her up a little bit? Yes. Even though I don't want to pay that bullshit fee, once I start paying the fee, I'll finally wake up Victoria Justice's mind a little bit. The karma now hit her because for like 30 years, for like 20 something years of her life, Victoria Justice had no mess in her life with her husband. And the mess is in Ivan's life with her, and she took Ivan for granted, and now the karma hit her, and now her eyes are open, and she expects me to stay with the one for her, but I don't listen to her, obviously, when I pay the fee. I don't listen to VJ. She doesn't listen to me either, and they go. Yeah. That's why she made that song. Oh, I'm so sick of it. I said, yeah, I don't listen to her, obviously. That's why she made that song. Yeah. Duh. I don't listen to her. Yo, Ivan pisses me off. He knows, like, I don't listen to him, so he doesn't listen to me either. Yeah, you don't listen to me either, VJ. You're attention deficit, too. You don't fucking listen, man. You keep seeing the guys and fucking them. After you cry to me, that's why I'm not gonna listen to you either. There you go. Yeah. I don't forget, I am now a man whore. Once I'm a man whore, I now have the sexual urges like VJ does. It's tougher to stay away. Obviously, I told you VJ can stay with the guy. She's just stupid. She chooses to give into her sexual urges and she likes them. You know, I like them. I like the attention. I like the sex. I'm gonna keep fucking them, Ivan. You're never gonna know until you save me. I'm gonna keep fucking all these guys, Ivan. And that's why I don't listen to her when I pay the fee. But she's pissed off because yeah, Ivan's not gonna let me do him like that. I expect him to stay with the woman, but I don't show him the same respect and stay with the guys. Yes, VJ. Loyalty is a two-way street. If you want me to stay with the woman, you have to show the same respect and stay with the guy. I can't do it. I like them. Yeah, well, I'm not listening to you either. There you go. I don't listen to her. That's why she's pissed off. Obviously, right? Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, man. Are you gonna get a beer today, Ivan? I might. But if I get a 25 pack and a beer, I only have enough for a 20 pack for tomorrow and Wednesday. I don't like 20 packs. They run out um, so fast, but it's better than nothing. I get my check probably maybe tomorrow or maybe Wednesday. I get my check, my 100 like $30 check from the government. Obviously, yeah. This time I'm not touching a dime of my savings. I'm serious, obviously. Yeah, 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 yeah. All of the records will you call your office when for the Xanus movie? Oh yeah, they will. Ryan Coogler. Ryan Coogler is also perhaps good for Xanus too. I think he'll make a masterpiece too if he directed my movie. But Peter Jackson will give them my top two choice, obviously. Well, Denis Villeneuve, Ryan Coogler, those are good candidates too, obviously, for my movie. Yeah. But Peter Jackson will give them my top two choice. Because somebody tells me Ryan Coogler will make a masterpiece too if I chose him as my director. He's much cheaper than Mel Gibson and Peter Jackson, Ryan Coogler. And Denis Villeneuve's cheaper too. I'd pay them those guys a lot of money, but not the money I'm paying Mel Gibson and Peter Jackson. They're not as big as those guys, right? Peter Jackson will give some of my top two candidates, but guaranteed, a lot of the big Hollywood directors their agents will be calling my office, man. Spielberg will want to direct that. Ridley Scott, if he's alive by then, he'll want to direct that. But he's way too old. He's like in his 80s now. He might not. By the time King Ridley Scott might have probably passed away. He'll be like in his 90s. He's fucking old, but he's still working. Obviously, Ridley Scott. All these directors are going to be calling their agents and call my office, man. James Cameron's agent will call. Yeah, I want to direct that movie, man. They all want to direct my movie. All those directors. Yeah, their agents will tell them, yeah, don't worry, guys. We're gonna call this guy's name. We're gonna try and get you guys work, get you guys a part. Be Ivan's star director. Ivan can easily pay you guys more. He's giving you all the budget. We're gonna call and try and get you a job. I'll call him, man. It's crazy. Emma. I'll call my office. All the directors, all the actors' agents are calling. They want to. Yeah, I want to be a part of that story, man. That last one was agent story. All the actors' agents are calling. It's crazy because they want to be a part of that story. Yeah, they don't want to be left behind. They want to be saved. They want to experience like Laura says, the family, VJ. They don't want to be left behind, and they know I can pay them more. The actors, directors, the producers, they know I can pay them more in Hollywood. Pay them more for Skyscrapers compared to how much they make for Hollywood. You pay them more money. And they all want out of the Hollywood system. For Ivan's company, you get your free, you don't have to do anything. When Hollywood, you're a dirty slave, you have to do it to make your money. That's how it works, right? Yeah. Nothing's free in this world, man. You want to make your millions and be successful, you have to pay a price for that. That's how it works. Yeah. Yeah. Somebody tells me Ryan Coogler would direct an amazing Xanus movie too. He's a very, very talented director, Ryan Coogler. He's not the best in Hollywood, but I give this guy another maybe 10, 15 years, he might be up there as one of the top directors in Hollywood. Give him more time to grow as a director. He's a very, very talented director. As Black Panther was a masterpiece. Black Panther 2 was not the greatest movie. It was not bad. It was pretty good. And Sinners was a masterpiece, man. That's a fucking amazing movie. That was my best movie. That was my favorite movie last year. Sinners was my number one favorite movie last year. Hands down, the best movie of 2025 was Sinners. Sinners is number one, man. Amazing fucking movie with Michael B. Jordan. Amazing movie. Yeah. What's your second best movie after Sinners? One Battle After Another. That movie did not do that well at the box office, but man, that movie was amazing too. It's not as good as Sinners, but it was a really, really good movie. One Battle After Another, obviously, with Leonardo DiCaprio and Simon Pegg, right? That was a good movie. I like Sinners better, but One Battle After Another is my second favorite movie of 2025. And then third, probably James Gunn's Superman. Then fourth place, probably Thunderbolts. What would Mission Impossible? Nah, Mission Impossible was not that good, man. Mission Impossible Final Reckoning Part 2 was a stinker. It wasn't that good of a movie. I did not like the movie, man. It wasn't that good of a movie. Yeah. One of the worst Mission Impossible movies ever. Yeah. Captain America, Brave New World was not that good. A Fantastic Four and Jurassic World Reboot I did not see yet. So I'm going to watch those movies, obviously. Yeah, Sinners was a masterpiece, man. It's an amazing movie. It's an amazing movie. You were hooked watching it. Oh yeah, I was hooked watching it. I'm like, this movie's sick, man. It was such an amazing movie. Yeah, Ryan Coogler's a talented director. Yeah. My top candidates are Mel Gibson, Peter Jackson. I told you, all those directors' agents will call, man. Their agents, yeah, don't worry, we're going to try our best to get you the job. Obviously. Yeah. I want to direct that story, man. That's a masterpiece. Yeah, it is. This is a masterpiece. Once you read the book, you'll be shocked. That's a fucking masterpiece. Yeah, it's a masterpiece in this. You think there'll be any reader when they purchase your book who reads maybe half a volume a day? No. No, not Xanus, man. Xanus is the kind of book you're either going to binge it in one sitting or you're going to read at least one volume a day, man. Because it's so entertaining, you're going to be hooked for hours turning the page. You can't put it down. Obviously. The only way they'll read like maybe one volume a day is if they have errands to run. They want to go out to dinner with their family. Then there's context. Then that in that sense, yes. But if you have nothing to do all day, and you have time to read the book, you're gonna be binging the book either in one sitting, binge reading the book in one sitting, or you're gonna at least binge a volume a day. If you're tired, you're gonna at least binge volume. Yeah, this is sick. You're gonna keep reading it. You're gonna be hooked turning the page for hours. I don't want to keep you hooked. I'm a genius. Yeah. So hooked, you will be ordering your takeout while you're reading the book, man. You're like, holy shit, man, this book is sick, man. And you're excited and you read like 10 pages. Yeah, okay, I'm getting my takeout, man. This is fucking entertaining shit. And you read the ebook on your laptop and you order your pizza, you order your Subway, your McDonald's, your shawarma, I'm saying, your poutine, your Mexican food. And you're eating your food while you're reading the book, man. You're just hooked for hours turning the page, man. Because this is a masterpiece. I know how to control your mind and keep you hooked. I'm a genius. Yeah. It's the gift that God gave me, obviously. Yeah, how does Ivan do that, man? Ivan knows how to control our minds and keep us hooked. And have the characters jump on the page in our heads when we read the book. How does he do that? Yeah, it's my father doing the magic, guys. That's the only answer I can give you. It's the gift of God, obviously, that I have. That's my answer I can give you, right? Yeah. Yeah. Ivan, seriously, man, like, are you bluffing? I'm not bluffing. Xanus is the kind of book you're either gonna binge the whole thing in one sitting, binge read the whole book in one sitting in one day, or you're gonna binge at least a volume a day, maybe 2 volumes a day. If you binge volume 1 and 2, you're tired, and the next day you binge volume 3. The only way you will stop reading the book is if you're tired, like you're mentally fatigued, you want to take a break. That's the only way you're not gonna. That's the only way you'll take a break for Zane. But if you're in the zone and you want to read, you can binge the whole thing in one day, man. You'll be hooked for hours turning the page, man. I'm not lying, guys. I read a book many times. When I read it, I am hooked. I can read it for a long time. Yeah. Was there ever a day where you binged like one chapter? Yeah, a few times. A few times I binged like a chapter. And then when I binge a chapter, I read the whole thing. I'm like, oh my God, this went by so fast. Like, it's a long chapter, but I binged it in like an hour and a half, 50 minutes. An hour, in 1 hour, the chapter is done. Holy shit, that went by fast, man. Yeah. So, Sarah? Yeah. And Zayas is a book you can reread over and over again. You can reread the book like 25, 30 times in your life. And even on your 30th reread, you're not going to get tired of it. You can just keep rereading it over and over again. It's a masterpiece, man. It's such an entertaining story. I read my book like 5 times so far. 4, 5, 6 times I've reread my book. Every time I go back, I'm always hooked, entertained reading it. It's constant entertainment, and you can reread it over and over again. But your best experience will be your first read, because you don't know what happens, right? You guys have a little bit of an idea what happens if I want to. I spoiled a little bit of stuff for you, but you still don't really know what's going on. And especially when you read volume 3, you're blown away. Holy shit, man! This is a masterpiece. I know. Yeah, that's why the gates want to control it, obviously, because they're greedy pigs, man. But zero, man. That money's mine. You're not touching it, man. It's for me. VJ's not for you. Don't hate them, saying yeah. Some Sarah. Yeah, and that's psychotic, man. They make all that money. Yeah, they make their tens of trillions every year. They also want to take out on my 20 billion off my book, man. So greedy pigs. I'm not gonna let those guys win and steal all my money and destroy my relationship with my wife, man. No way. That money's mine. You're not touching it. It's for me and VJ. It's not for you. Obviously. Yeah, but Ivan, man, are you willing to like die, man? Nah, guys, but I have no choice, man. Otherwise, they're gonna toot me and win the game, man. Yeah, I have that thought. Yeah, man. After what they put me through my life and keeping me poor, I'm not gonna let these guys take my money, man. No way, and destroy my relationship with my wife like that. No way, man. And I'm brave and I choose the other choice. All I'm thinking about, okay, all I gotta do is just wake up 1 minute later. I have my financial control. I own the Xanus brand. I make the billions of my book. I get VGR fresh myself. Obviously. And I'm thinking about my Xanus movie too. Yeah, man, if the brand's mine, I can fund the movie for $3 billion. I can start my films with VJ. I can pay the hot actors my money, get them out of Hollywood. And I can make the movie that I want to make. This is Xanus brand. I control, I own it. Obviously. I don't have to worry about the executives in Hollywood touching my story. Because they can ruin your story. I'm not saying Hollywood can't make a masterpiece. Hollywood could make a masterpiece. They can also ruin my story. I don't want to take that risk. I don't want anyone controlling my brand, man. That brand is mine. The Xanus brand is mine. I don't want anyone controlling that. So I'm sorry. God, you're very protective of your Xanus brand. Oh, yeah, I am. I'm very protective of my Xanus brand. Yeah. I know you guys think I'm crazy, but I care more about the art of Xanus than I do the money. I really do. Xanus is my baby. I don't even want to touch that, man. I do care more about the art than the money. Yeah, I do. Obviously. But I'm not going to lie. I love money. I want to make a lot of money off my book and everything. That's why I don't want the kids to enjoy my brand. But I also care deeply a lot about my art. I don't want anyone touching my story and ruining my story, man. Because if you sell it, Ivan, the publishing houses, the editors are going to be touching your story and they can ruin your story, make some changes and ruin your story. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, that's why I don't want these earthly people touching my heavenly story, man. They can ruin my story. There you go. Don't even say, yeah. Sorry? Yo, Ivan, man, you're cocky, man. You think these editors will know what they're doing. No, I'm not saying the editors can't make my book better. But I told you, man, all these editors in the book publishing industry, they don't have the heavenly gift like me. So I'm scared if they touch my story, I read sections of my book and the characters don't jump out on the pages that much anymore. Like, you know what I mean? Yeah. Ivan, we edited your book. Are you happy? And I read sections of my book. I'm like, whoa. What just happened, man? Why are these characters not jumping on a page anymore? Ivan, what do you mean? I'm like, yeah, they fucking ruined my story, man. Because they don't have the heavenly gift like me. That's why I don't want these earthly people touching my heavenly story. There you go. Don't hate this thing. Yeah. I'm sorry? Yeah. Yeah, Ivan's the only author whereby, like, we can't touch his story, because if we touch his story, we can ruin it. We can ruin the flow of the dialogue and the characters jumping on a page. We don't have the heavenly gift like him. Yeah, those editors in the business don't have the heavenly gift like me. I'm scared if they touch my story, the characters won't jump on the page anymore, man. They feel more dry and dull. And they ruin my story. Yeah, man. I'm not taking that chance. No way. Don't hate him. Saying, yeah, Ivan, you got a good point there. Because you have the heavenly gift and you know how to, and your father is doing the magic, he knows how to make the character up on the page. If these editors touch your story, they can ruin that experience. Yes, man, they can ruin your story, Ivan, man. That's why I don't want these earthly people touching my heavenly story. There you go. Some sour. Yeah, give me a second, guys. I'm going to go upstairs and get my coffee. I'm back in a sec. Don't hate with them. Just give everyone one. sorry for the long wait. Yeah. The Hollywood actors are gonna envy the Xanus stars. Oh yeah, the Hollywood actors are gonna envy the Xanus stars. The directors are gonna envy Mel Gibson or Peter. Like, yeah, Peter, man, I saw the news, man. Congrats, man. You're Ivan's chosen director. Yeah, thanks, man. Yeah, you signed a mega deal. Yeah, I know. Ivan signed me to like a 1.3 billion deal, 1.6 billion deal to my New Zealand money. Like, holy shit, that's a mega deal, man. A billion plus deal. Holy shit. And he gave you a $3 billion budget. I saw the news. Yeah, he gave me a $3 billion budget. And all the Hollywood directors are envious of Peter or Mel, obviously, because they don't make that in Hollywood. And they don't have that kind of money, man. The Hollywood companies, they don't make movies for that money, for that amount of money, man. $3 billion is unheard of for a fucking movie. Yeah, James Cameron will be shocked. Yeah, man. Like, that technology is a revolutionization of cinema, man. That's gonna blow my Avatar out of the water. James Cameron makes his Avatar movies for about $350 million. Around there, and the movie looks amazing, but my movie will blow that technology out of the water. Pandora world out of the water, man. Yeah. And even though Avatar looks very beautiful, obviously, when you watch the movie, the Pandora and everything, it's full. James Cameron uses full CGI for Avatar, so it looks a bit computery. Whereas my movie for Xanus will look amazing, but it doesn't have that computery look like Avatar. It looks more natural because I'm building big sets but the world building, it's like that Chromecast picture. It looks more natural. It looks very amazing. It will blow James Cameron's Avatar technology out of the water, man. That's why James Cameron will be envious of Peter Mel. Man, I wish I could direct that movie. Man, Ivan paid you so much money and he gave you unlimited budget. Yeah, it's every director's dream. Every director's dream is to get paid a big contract and to have an unlimited budget like that, man. That's every director's dream. Because the bigger the budget, the more stuff you can do. Better stuff you can do for your movie. But just because you have a big budget, that doesn't necessarily translate into an amazing movie. You also have to write a good screenplay. The script is very important. You have to write a good script, obviously, for your movie. But I will write a good script for my movie, as I'm going to be all prepped, man, when I do the meetings with Peter Mel. Obviously, Vigi's going to help me with the notes. When we go over the 3 volumes, Vigi's going to help me out with all that. Obviously, and I told you, if you follow the book, you'll get your masterpiece. Here's a guy. Even if we follow your book, you're gonna get a masterpiece. But we'll be adding stuff and making a few changes to make it better. But we'll follow the DNA of the story, Ivan. You'll get a masterpiece. Yeah, you'll get a masterpiece. You go over the book page by page. Okay, Peter, we should add this, change this part of the dialogue, add this, add a bit more stuff here. We follow the DNA of the story, but we're giving more depth in some of the scenes, and the movie ends up being a masterpiece. Yeah. Peter Mel will tell me, yeah, if you follow your book, you'll get your masterpiece. Yeah, you'll get your masterpiece if you follow the Xanus story. But there's some scenes that you might have to make a few changes and add some stuff to make it better. I'm probably going to be adding about 25% into the book to make it better, but I'll be following into the movie to make it better, but I'll be following the DNA of the story, obviously. The DNA of the Xanus stories. I'm sorry. Yeah. Yeah. Well, Mel will tell his brother on the rings, yeah, Mel's like, yeah, Ivan, your Xanus story is better than my resurrection of the Christ and passion of the Christ, Ivan. Looking at a powerful story. Yeah, Ivan, your story is like bringing the Bible to life in a fantasy world, Ivan. Yeah, pretty much. It's like bringing the Bible to life in a fantasy movie. Obviously, you got Aratat, he's the king of the south. Ephes is the king by the mountains. You have the devil bats, the devil wolves. That's like the demonic horde. You also have the ancestors. I almost pulled a sword for you. You have the devil crows. Obviously, where Aratat's spies. The spies of his kingdom, obviously. How do you think Aratat and them, how do you think Fufu and all them found out about Cassius and all them? Well, you have the spies, obviously. I almost pulled a sword for you. What about Tactius? No, Tactius, the spies did not see him. He was lucky, obviously. Was Cassius and them the spies? The spies saw them, obviously, right? Yeah. I almost post over here. See, let me read the book. Yeah. Yeah, man. Yeah. Yeah. Almost done there, guys. I might make a 50-minute video. That's good enough. Yeah. All right, man. You got some balls, man. You think Zane's will be a public embarrassment in the anime industry? Yeah, it will be. It'll be an embarrassment in the industry, obviously. Yeah, in the book publishing industry, especially because Xanus is a book, obviously. All the authors in the book publishing industry and the what all the CEOs of the book publishing industry, they're all gonna feel like shit. Yeah, man. Like there's something about Ivan's book that's unique and special that beats our books, beats our best sellers, man. Ivan put our best selling books to shame. Like his book is better than all these books. Yeah, I know. Better than all the greats, man. Like J.R. Tolkien, George R. Martin, J.K. Rowling. It's a better book than all these books. And Ivan did everything himself. He had no editor, man. We have the best editors in the business who polish up all these all these great authors' manuscripts, and yet Ivan's book is so better than their books, man. Ivan did everything himself. Yeah, I did everything myself, guys. I don't have editors helping me with my book. No, this is 100% me. I did everything myself. Yeah, Ivan did everything himself. Because Ivan did everything himself when he has no editor, that's why his book is a little bit raw. A little bit raw. But even though it's a little bit raw, it's still better than our books. Like I was much more entertaining reading his book than all these other books in the book publishing industry. That's why it'll be a public embarrassment, and they all feel like shit, all those authors. And it's also an embarrassment in the Hollywood industry, obviously. As I don't mean to be rude, most Hollywood movies that come out today are garbage in Hollywood, right? You get a few gems here and there that are good, and a few pretty good movies, but most of the movies nowadays in Hollywood are garbage movies. They're not that great movies, right? That's just the truth, right? Yeah. Obviously. Yeah. Most movies in Hollywood nowadays are garbage. They're not that great movies. There are a few good ones here and there, but most of them are not that great movies, obviously. Yeah. Like the Hollywood executives will be shocked with my story. Holy shit, man. Ivan wrote that. Ivan wrote The Last of His Hands. That's a fucking masterpiece, man. Yeah, man, that beats all our fucking IPs. Yeah, I wish I could get my hands on that. That's a fucking masterpiece. Yeah, it is. It's a masterpiece in this. That's the greatest story I ever read in my life. Yeah, it is. That's why they want the families want to control my brand. Yeah, we want Hollywood to control Ivan's brand. I'm like, no, I don't want the Hollow executives to control my brand. I don't trust those guys. They can ruin my story. I'm not saying the Hollow companies can't make a masterpiece. They can, but I'm scared they're gonna make all these changes and they ruin my story, obviously. And they're probably gonna make Xanus PG-13. If Disney got their hands on my brand, they'd make it PG-13, obviously. So it'd be something like Avengers with Eratat, like Xanus. I don't know. Are you saying Xanus will still be a masterpiece if it's PG-13? Yes, it will, but you're gonna defeat the purpose of the story. The story is no longer powerful. It's not that powerful anymore because Eratat's not that scary. He's formidable like Thanos, but he's not that scary. You defeat the purpose of the story. Tactics is an agony for Eratat, who's not that scary. The story is no longer as powerful if Eratat and them are not demons. If it has to be devils, it's a masterpiece and it's a very powerful story. Erath and them are devils and demons. They cut people's heads off. They feast on human flesh. It's now a very, very powerful story, and the world is more hooked, and they're gonna feel for me in the actors more. That's why I want Erath and them to be devils. That's Sarah. Yeah. So the world will be shocked by your story. Oh yeah, you're just like, yeah, you're blown away by the story once you read it. Especially once you after you read the Ephesus scene, you're like, yeah, I'm sold. Ivan is the greatest fantasy author ever. You're like, once you read the Ephesus scene, you're sold. Yeah, Ivan's the greatest fantasy author ever. This is like a fucking movie. This is cinema, yeah, man. The Ephesus scene, the ancestor scenes in Volume 3 is like cinema on the page, man. I'm not lying, guys. Whereby you're just like, I'm sold. Ivan is the greatest fantasy author ever, man. Yeah. I don't think nothing, no fantasy book could beat this, man. This is fucking cinema, man. This is entertaining shit, yeah, man. You read the Ephesus and you're blown away, man, by the plot. I don't want to spoil the story for you guys. You'll see I mean when you read the book. I will spoil the story for you. Yeah. So Ivan, tactics saving the Southerners from the devils is not the main plot of the story. No, it's not. It's a big subplot, but it's not the main plot of the story. No. You have to read Volume 3 to get the main plot, the main gist of the story. Volume 3 answers all your questions. You have to read Volume 3 for that. That's why I'm not showing Volume 3. I won't spoil the story for you. Well, Ivan shows Volume 3. No, guys, I don't want to spoil the story for you guys, man. You'll see what I mean in my book. I won't spoil the story for you. So I'm sorry. I already spoiled quite a bit of Volume 1 and 2 for you. You guys already have an idea what's going on in Volume 1 and 2. But you don't know shit about Volume 3 because I don't want to spoil the story for you. So I'm sorry. Yeah. Yeah. So Peter will tell you he's better than Lord of the Rings. Yeah, he will. Alright, man, this is going to be better than my Lord of the Rings. Alright, I know Peter. Oh, Ivan, serious, man. This is going to be better than my Lord of the Rings, man. This is a powerful story, Ivan. Yeah. Oh, no, we're on the scene when John Boyega and Jimonsu get captured by the wolves when we're writing the screenplay, obviously. And I tell Peter, I'm like, Peter, whenever Eratat gets out of his tent, you get this music. They sing the Eratat song. You get this music. And, like, get the... My Peter, I'm thinking of, like, a beat with, like, drums. They pound these drums and they behold our king, Eratat, Eratat, Eratat. You know, then they pound the drums and you see Eratat. He steps out of his tent. And he's like, "Good day, humans." And when he says that, the wolves are all laughing at John Boyega and Jimonsu. Peter's like, "Yeah, Ivan, they're all laughing at them." Yeah. pathetic, weak little humans. Until they mock them. He was like, oh, he was like, oh, you're a genius. I mean, they laugh. I'm like, yeah, that's not in the book, but I add that to make it more interesting, obviously. He was like, yeah, Ivan, man, the world's gonna that scene alone's already entertaining, Ivan. They're in Barack and the thousand devils are staring at them. I'm like, he's like, holy shit, Ivan. And they laugh at them. I'm like, yeah, Ivan, man, you're looking at Mac. This is Lord of the Rings. I don't know, he's Lord of the Rings. Lord of the Rings, Peter. Yeah. He was like, yeah, Ivan, you're looking at a masterpiece, Ivan. Yeah, man. He was like, Ivan, how the heck did you come up with this story, man? This is genius, man. This is better than Jared Toga's Lord of the Rings. I know, Peter. It's better than Jared Toga's Lord of the Rings. Oh, Ivan, seriously, man. I enjoyed your book more than Jared Toga's Lord of the Rings, Ivan. I know, Peter. Lord of the Rings is a masterpiece, Ivan, but it's a bit boring, Ivan, when I read it. I'm saying, your book is not like that. It's very entertaining, I know. Yeah. And your book is much more easier to adapt, Ivan. Lord of the Rings is a fucking hassle to adapt, Ivan. I have to cut out so many things. Yeah, I know. Peter pulled up. I don't even know how Peter pulled it off, man. I can never adapt Lord of the Rings. That's just too complicated for me, man. And Peter pulled it off. Adapting Lord of the Rings. Yeah. Because Peter will tell me, yeah, I think your book, Xanus, we can actually follow it like page by page. Obviously. Like the way your story works and flows, we can follow it page by page. Whereas Lord of the Rings, you can't do that, Ivan. You have to cut out so many things because Jared Tolkien has so many things going on every page. It's crazy. Yeah, it's crazy, obviously. So I'm sorry. Yeah. 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 I insist, man. Will Peter really tell you he'll be better than Lord of the Rings? Yeah, he will. He will, yeah. He might tell me that. Yeah, Ivan, like, I read your book, man. If you turn this into a movie, you're looking at a better movie chosen by Lord of the Rings, Ivan. Yeah. He might tell me that. Yo, Ivan, your volume 2 will be better than my Two Towers, Ivan. Tell me that, Peter. Yeah. Your volume 1 will be better than my Fellowship of the Ring. Or just as good, because Fellowship of the Ring is a very good movie. That was very good, obviously, but yeah. Peter's like, no, Ivan, like volume 1, that's already a masterpiece, Ivan. Like the light behind the walls and things, they don't know what's outside the walls and everything. And then Takis leaves the walls, he meets Here's Empire, you have the land markings. yeah, I'd be looking at a masterpiece. I know, Peter. Yeah. Ivan, the wolf scenes alone will be entertaining because they're devils, right? When you see the demonic wolves and Barak and everything, you're like, holy shit, you feel for me in the ass because they're devils, obviously. You're hooked watching the movie because everything them are devils and demons. Do you think Volume 1 will be better than Fellowship of the Ring? I wouldn't say that. I think it'll be equally just as good. But as a whole, the whole trilogy, it'll be better than Lord of the Rings. If you're gonna judge it based on individual movies, I'd say Volume 1 will probably be just as good as Fellowship of the Ring. But Volume 2, you can argue it could be just as good as Two Towers 2. But Volume 3, that's what will make the trilogy better than Lord of the Rings, honestly. Yeah. Because it will be close. Lord of the Rings and Xanus is close, man. Because Lord of the Rings is a masterpiece, man. But Xanus will be the better trilogy. Because I'm acting at it as Takis, don't forget that. And once you read Volume 3 and you have a huge access like Prince of Egypt, that surpasses Return of the King. Peter's like, yeah, even like your volume 3 is when the shit gets real. You have an Exodus like Prince of Egypt, they journey through the caverns, Eretat's 20,000 army approaches, Safi is a blacksmith city. He finds that they're all gone. Like that's when shit gets real, Ivan. And that's why the Xanus trilogy will be a bit better than Lord of the Rings. It will be close, but it'll be a bit better, honestly. It's close, obviously, right? Yeah. I'm sorry. Well, Peter might tell you fuck Bob Shade Michael, and yeah, he might. I don't know, at the party when I pull Peter aside, if I choose Peter, assuming I choose Peter, because I might choose him now, right? I pull Peter aside, tell Peter, I need this to be a masterpiece. Peter's like, Ivan, don't worry about it. We're gonna make an amazing movie together. I'm gonna work much harder for you on Lord of the Rings. Fuck Bob Shea, Michael, and Ivan. You might tell me that, yeah. Those guys owe him money, man. Yeah, Ivan, fuck Bob Shea, Michael. Those guys ripped me off. They owe me money. They gave me a shitty number and a bunch of Lord of the Rings, Ivan. And I was a dirty slave in Hollywood. Yeah, tell me that, Peter. You gave me my freedom, Ivan. I was a dirty slave for Lord of the Rings. Yeah, Peter was a dirty slave for Lord of the Rings. You had to do it, right? Peter paid a price to make that $250 million, man. Like, duh, he paid a heavy price to make that money. Now, you have to do it, obviously. He's not even fuck Bob shit in my life. They gave me a shitty $9 million budget item for Lord of the Rings. Yeah, Peter might diss his Lord of the Rings trilogy. Yeah, obviously. Will Peter work harder for you than he did Lord of the Rings? Of course he will. I paid him more money. And it's an Ivan movie, an Ivan Vijay movie. He'll work harder for me, obviously. I paid him more money, man. Money talks, man. You pay them more money, they work harder for you. The only difference is that Peter is now older. He's like 30 plus years older. So the work is a bit tougher on his body, but he's working really hard, man. Harder than he even did for Lord of the Rings, man. Because I paid him more money. He only made $10 million for Lord of the Rings, Peter. For his base salary. And he made like $250 million off the film profits and the merchandise profits and game profits. Peter made $250 million off that. Obviously. But I'm paying him more money than what he made for Lord of the Rings. As Peter's making $85 million for Xanus. For his base. And he gets $200 million of the merch profits, $250 million of the game profits. That's how much he made as a whole for Lord of the Rings, $250 million. I'm paying him that for the game alone. And $200 million for the merch. He gets $850 million of the film profits. Peter worked hard for me. That's a $1.3 billion deal. $1.6 billion deal has used own money. Peter Jackson worked hard for me. Obviously. You don't have to worry about it. I'm going to work my ass off for you, boss. You know what I'm saying? You pay me a lot of money, I have to worry about it, man. I'm going to work my ass off for you. I'm going to make an amazing movie, man. We're going to make an amazing movie together, Ivan. Peter pulls it off. He makes a masterpiece. Or Mel Gibson. We'll make a masterpiece if I choose Mel. I'm gonna pull Mel aside too. Mel's like, I have no worry about Mel. I'm gonna make a masterpiece, and Mel makes a masterpiece too. They both make masterpieces. The question is, which masterpiece is better? Mel's interpretation or Peter's interpretation? That's the real question. That's why you gotta test their creativity. Sorry. Yeah. Emma. Sorry. All right, did Peter really take all the treasure for himself? Yeah, he did. He did. Yeah, I'm not lying, guys. It's in the book when you read it, right? I'm not lying. I'm not making shit up. I'm telling you the truth, man. Peter did really take the whole money for himself for Lord of the Rings. He took the whole treasure for himself, man. Yeah, he's a greedy pig. Yeah. Ivan, that's cold what Peter did, I know. I know. Well, Lord of the Rings actors made nothing. According to the book, the Lord of the Rings actors made like $250K for the 3 movies. I don't know if they got $250K per movie or $250K for the 3 movies. I know Elijah Wood made about $1 million, and Vigo I think made around $1 million too. Whereas all the other actors made like $250K for the 3 movies. I heard Orlando Bloom made $175,000 for the movie because he was a nobody back then. But to be fair, Lord of the Rings opened doors for all those guys. Like Orlando Bloom's career skyrocketed after Lord of the Rings. He was on Pirates of the Caribbean, Kingdom of Heaven. Like that launched his career. But for Lord of the Rings, he made nothing, man, because he was a nobody back then, Orlando Bloom. And all the other Hobbit actors made like $250K for the movie. The only person who really got paid was Ian McKellen. Ian McKellen made, I think, $13 million for the Lord of the Rings trilogy. So he made his millions, he got paid. All the other actors made like $250K for the movie, obviously. And Peter made the big money. He made his 10 million base, and he took like the $250 million treasure for himself, obviously. But greedy paid that guy, man. Alright, that's greedy. I know he's greedy, Peter. $250 million, and those actors made $250K, man. That's a slap in the face, man. Yeah, man. Yeah. He's a greedy pig, Peter. Watch out for Peter Jackson. He's a greedy pig. Yeah. And I heard New Line owed Peter, I think, like $100 million in royalties. They ripped Peter off, man. Yeah, they did, man. Yeah. But they wanted to hold on to that cash, obviously. Yeah, we already paid Peter $250 million. That's enough. Yes, guys, I know Peter Jackson's a greedy pig, but if you sign a contract and you owe him money, you got to pay him what you owe him, man. That's why Peter took him to court, because he knew they ripped him off. Bob Shea and Michael Lynn held on to some of the cash, man. And they owed him money. I heard like about $25 million extra they owed Peter, but they didn't pay him the money. Because, yeah. I think Bob Shea and Michael Lynn realized that, yeah, giving Peter 10% or 8% of the gross revenues was a mistake, as he's draining a good chunk of our profits. Just pay him $2 million. The rest of this money, let's hold on to this, man, because we're already paid Peter enough money. I get that, guys, but if you sign a contract, you have to pay him what you owe him, obviously. But Peter Jackson obviously sucked quite a bit of the profits from Bob Shea and Michael Lynn. That's probably why they held on to the cash. They didn't want to pay him the rest. Because Peter Jackson was draining all the profits, because they gave him like 10% of the gross, man. I heard. And $250 million is a lot of you. That's a good chunk of the profits, man. Peter got $250 million for that, man. He took a good chunk of the profits. That's why they probably didn't want to pay him more money. Yeah, fuck this. He took a good chunk of our profits. We're going to hold on to this money. We're not going to pay him the rest, obviously. And they breached the deal. That's why Peter took him to court. He's a greedy pig, Peter. Yeah. And they say in the book, yeah, Jackson's greedy. Jackson is just greedy. Yeah, I know he's greedy, but if you owe him money, guys, you got to pay him what you owe him, right? You're the one who chose to give him, like, I don't know, 8-10% of the gross. If he drained a good chunk of your profits, Bob Shea and Michael Lynn, you still have to pay him what you owe him, obviously. Because I think Bob Shea and Michael Lynn, they realized they made a mistake. Yeah, we gave Peter way too much money. We shouldn't have given him this much money of the girls. He's draining all our profits. That Peter Jackson obviously took a good chunk of the profits because he made $250 million off them, right? That's a lot of money, man. Yeah. The three Lord of the Rings movies did about what, $3 billion in the box office around there, on a $90 million budget with marketing. So Bob Shea and Michael Lynn probably made maybe I don't know, $400 million in profit around there, and Peter took $250 million of that. They knew if this is my theory, they knew if they gave Peter all the money, he would have drained all their profits. That's why they didn't give him the money. Because they gave Peter like, I don't know, 8, 9, 10% of the gross, man, something crazy. So a good chunk of the profits were drained. Obviously, yeah. It's not just a movie. Peter made $250 million off the movie film profits, as well as the game profits, and the games made a lot of money, and they also had the DVD sales, which made like $1 billion. So Bob Shea and Michael Lynn were making profit off other streams too, obviously. They knew giving Peter more money would have drained more of the profits. Because my guess is Lord of the Rings made maybe $300 million in profit around there, and a good chunk of that went to Peter. And then you also have the game profits and the DVD sale profits and the merch profits. Those all made a lot of money. We pay Peter more money, he's draining more of our profits, honestly. They don't have as much money left over. That's probably why, that's my theory, why they didn't pay him the money. Yeah. Because I guarantee you Bob Shea and Michael Lynn realized, we're fucking idiots, man. We gave Peter Jackson like way too much of the profits, man. Don't pay him anymore. This is enough. That's why Peter took him to court. That's my theory, obviously, right? I'm not saying it's true. It's just a theory that I have. Yeah. So, Sarah. I'm gonna say this, man. Those Lord of the Rings actors deserve a good like $500K of the 7 actors deserved a good like $500K of Peter's money, man. And Peter took all that treasure himself. He's a fucking greedy pig, that guy, man. All right, that's cool. I know. He made $250 million, guys. That's gold. And those Lord of the Rings actors made like $250K. That's what, like 100 times how much those actors made? Yeah, whatever it is, yeah. Obviously. I heard there was a rumor that the Lord of the Rings actors got a $1 million bonus because of the success of the 3 movies. It's a rumor. I don't know if it's true, but I heard the 7 Lord of the Rings actors did get a $1 million bonus from Warner Bros. From New Line. I heard, but I don't know if that's accurate. I heard Lord of the Rings actors got a $1 million bonus. If they did, if the Lord of the Rings actors did get a $1 million bonus and they were taking care of it, that's pretty good. But if they didn't, Peter's obviously greedy. They deserve a good like $500K of Peter's money. But Peter took the whole charge of himself over the Rings. The whole thing went to him, man. It all went to Peter, man. Yeah. The whole treasure went to him, right? He's a greedy pig, Peter. Yeah. That's why he might push for more money. I've been hanging out $1 billion, and I'm like, no, Peter, $850 million is enough. I'm not paying more money. Stop being greedy, you sir. Yeah, you greedy pig. Yeah. That's what Xanus be the greatest man that's ever written. That'll be the greatest which ever made. Anyways, guys, here's what I hope you guys will the show. I'm saying peace. Peace out, guys. Hope you guys will this show. Don't hate him, son.